Hey, I just want to pick up really quickly on a talk I had a few videos back on chord inversions. Remember I talked about the root position, the first inversion, and the second inversion, how each one of those have a little bit different personality and they say something a little different. I used the example of I'll be coming home and how the root position chord really felt like, yes, that was a stable, good feeling. I believe him that he's definitely coming home. Remember E minor A to D with the root on the bottom. I'll be coming home. D on the bottom, he's coming home for sure. And then if you put the third on the bottom of the chord, the D with the F sharp on the bottom, right, the third of the chord, then what does it say? I'll be coming home. Still a D chord, but it says something different, doesn't it? I'm not so sure he's coming home, at least not right away. And I'll be coming, A on the bottom, home. Maybe, yeah, it says something different, doesn't it? Very, very subtle. Says something different than home. Well, not only can you use that to chord inversions to sort of you know, display different adjectives with your chord playing, but also they make for good, more interesting bass lines as well. Instead of just root position, root position, root position. Nothing wrong with that, but it can get a little tiresome, I think. For instance, I wrote a song a long time ago called "Didn't We Dance," and you know, I wrote it with the G, D, E minor in the verses. You know, just root position. In the middle of the day, when I've got a million things to do, I think of you and the... Okay, nowhere really to go in the choruses. If I use those chords again, and I do, everybody's heard those before. G, D, E minor, root position chords. Well, I experimented a little with the inversions and came up with in the middle of the day, when I've got a million things to do, I think of you, and the thought takes me away to another place and time when you were mine. Didn't we dance? Wasn't it real? So there's finally the root position one chord has been saved for the big chorus, right? But boy, what a nice bass line rather than root position, root position, root position. You got the 1/3. You got the D with the F sharp, and then the E minor with the E on the bottom. Okay. And then that opens up for the chorus to introduce those root position chords. See how that works? So, boy, there's lots of examples of this stuff, and I'm Already There, a song that Lone Star had out a while back that I always thought was a good example of that. He could have written it, he called her from the road, from a lonely cold hotel room, right? A, D, B minor, root position chords. He called her from the road, from a lonely cold hotel room, all root position chords. Well, the first chord is cool. It's an A with the in first inversion, the A with the C sharp on the bottom. He called, there's the melody note, but you got, he called her from the road, from a lonely cold hotel room. So the very first chord is a 1/3, or is actually the 5/7 because we're in D. But it's an A chord with the third on the bottom, the C sharp, instead of. It's already home. He called her from, it's nice, against that melody note. He called her from the road. It's got a nice forward motion to it that it didn't have before. And then again, it opens up the A chord in root position for however else you want to use it. The ear hasn't been worn out by that. So I talk a lot about inversions and the different characteristics of colors of chords at my website. At the subscription model at the Fine Art of Songwriting, which you can subscribe to now. Just click on the link in the post to subscribe or to learn more about it. I'll keep doing some of these videos to entice you, and if you don't sign up, that's fine too. It's inexpensive, and it's new content delivered every week. It's getting to be quite quite the online platform, and I'd love to have you there if you're interested. But until then, think about that. Think about altering your chords and using inversions to create more of an interesting bass line in maybe the first sections of the songs, and then open up the rest of the song to maybe more of the root position chords. Just does something a little different for the listener. Very interesting. Okay, thanks.